Hi students, Mrs. Drew here. Today we are going to talk about the future active participle. First, let's look at how we make the future active participle. Participles come from verbs. You need to know the 4 principal parts of a verb in order to make a future active participle out of it. Go to the 4th principal part, another name, the supine, and take off the us. Sometimes it is gonna be that you are going to take off. What is left is the supine stem. You will need the supine stem and the endings in order to make the future active participle. In an example, it looks like that. You take the supine stem and the urus, ura, urum ending together. It's gonna be naraturus, naratura, naraturum, which means about to tell. In another example, it's guest, your supine stem, urus, ura, urum, the suffix, together it's gesturus, gestura, gesturum, about to carry or about to wear. Now you have made a new participle called the future active participle. Next we will look at how we use these participles in a sentence. Remember, participles have an adjective feature. They describe nouns in number, gender, and case. It is true with the future active participles too. Let's look at the examples. Naratura is the future active participle in the first sentence. How do I know that? I recognize the ura suffix at the end of narat, which is a 4th principal part or supine stem of naru, narare, narave, narat, us. And therefore I know this is the future active participle. Naratura describes magistra in number, gender, and case. Both are singular, nominative, and feminine. This is called the adjective feature of the future active participle. Naratura also has a direct object, which is fabulam. This is called the verb feature of the participle. Now you try. Go to the second example sentence and can you tell me which is the future active participle in there? You're right if you said the future active participle is gesturi. We know that because we recognize the gesturi has the uri suffix at the end of it, and that tells us that this is a future active participle. Next, can you tell me what does it describe? Where is the agreement? What word does gesturi agree with? You're right if you said it was kives. They both are plural, nominative, and masculine. The next task for you is to figure out what is the direct object, if there are any. You're right if you said it's arma. If you didn't get it right, try to ask the question, what are they about to carry? If you can answer that question, that means that the participle has a direct object. They are about to carry weapons or wear weapons. Now that you know how to recognize and translate the future active participle, let's look at one more important feature of it. We said that participles function as adjectives in a sentence and agree with a noun in number, gender, and case. That means that they have to use the declension table to do that. Do you have a guess which declension they are using? You were right if you said first and second. The clue was their endings. A represents first declension, us and represents second declension. Altogether, they are the first and second declension adjectives. Finally, notice the way how the future active participle declines together with a noun. You can find the future active participle in the second place. You can see the urus ending. You remember that they decline by first and second declension. Here, clearly, you can tell that this is a second declension ending. And it describes kiwis, which is a third declension noun. So you are going to go by a third declension and the second declension ending wise. But all of these nouns have agreement in number, gender, and case, even though the endings don't look the same. And this is it about the future active participle.